Good evening, folks. It's your bro Richie again. Um, Tonight in this video, I'm back with another Need for Speed car explanation video for y'all. And today, I'll be talking to y'all about the next car from the same, still continuing on the cars from the 1994 video game, The Need for Speed. And today, I'll be talking to y'all about the next car, which is Ferrari's main rival, which is the 1993 Lamborghini Diablo VT. So before I get started with this one, make sure you guys all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all alerts of when I make brand new uploads. So without any further ado, let's begin. So the 1993 Lamborghini Diablo VT from the Need for Speed 1994. Here we go. So the 93 Diablo VT, the 93 Diablo VT's an all-wheel drive variant of the Diablo, introduced in 1993. Alright, starting off as always is the motor. So it's a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter V12, 7,000 RPM for power, 5,200 for torque. It made 492 horsepower and 430 pound-feet, 580 newton meters of torque. Pretty good, almost 500 horsepower from a Diablo, which is pretty good. Even though the SV version made 530, this was still pretty good. So 430 pound-feet, 580 newton meters of torque. Next is performance. So 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. Top speed 202 miles an hour, which is pretty fast back in 1993, during the early 90s. Well, early mid 90s, something like that. So yeah, so 0 to 60 is dealt with in 4.2 seconds, which is the same as an Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione. Top speed, so 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds, so 4.2 seconds, so 4.2 seconds, top speed 202 miles an hour. And a 5-speed manual, curb weight is 3,583 pounds, which is 1,625 kilos, which is okay-ish. I mean, despite having all-wheel drive, it does make it a bit heavy, but still it's not that bad, but oh well. Layout is obviously, of course, mid-motor, all-wheel drive, proper Lambo configuration. So the 93 Diablo VT is an all-wheel drive variant, so all-wheel drive version of the original Diablo, introduced in 1993. VT, or viscous traction, stood for the drivetrain system, in which up to 25% of the power 25% of the power could be transferred to the front wheels when the rear lost their grip. So essentially, the power could be sent to the front wheels if the rear wheels lose traction. This drivetrain's based on the one used in the off-road version, so in the off-roader, which is the 1989 Lamborghini LM002, which essentially has the same V12, but it was 5.1 liters. So this drivetrain was based on the one used in the 1989 Lamborghini LM002, which was its first off-roader back then, although with some alterations. Other differences between this VT and the regular Diablo included the intro of newly designed air intakes, revised interior and dashboard. Say dashboard. and also updated brakes. Although a few of these mods would appear later on the base Diablo, so the standard, so the base model, similar to the standard Diablo, a rear wings offered as a factory option, as a factory option. Okay, so next up is video games. So the Need for Speed 1994. So the Diablo VT. So the 93 Diablo VTs. The 93 Diablo VT appears in the Need for Speed 1994 in all releases following the 3DO original release. It's grouped in Class A alongside its rival, the Ferrari 512 TR Testarossa. It's the strongest and fastest of the two in its class. Although the 512 TR oddly has better handling. Okay, it can only be selected with a black body color, although in both the PlayStation and Sega Saturn releases, it can appear in purple when driven by both AI and split screen opponents. So depending on the platform you're playing on, it all depends on the type of color that the car would really appear in. So it could appear in purple when driven by both AI and split screen opponents. AI just kind of spoils it all. Last part is description. So starting off with the last part is trivia. So the Diablo VTs featured in the box art. So featured in the box art of the Need for Speed 1994. It's featured in a billboard art for Autumn Valley Speedway. It's Autumn Valley Speedway, or AVS for short. A course featured in the Need for Speed 1994, the hometown course of Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit 1998. Last part analogy there. The car appears in the intro cinematic of Need for Speed Need for Speed High Stakes 1998, I think it was. I can't remember. But it's also absent from the game. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the Diablo. Pretty cool car. If someone said to me, what would be your favorite 90s Italian supercar or hypercar to own from either Ferrari or Lambo, it has to be Lamborghini. Even though, yeah, they do suffer like big issues like with a big Lambo, parking wise, gearboxes, because usually with those supercars like those, they often have heavy clutches, so it will take a while just to get gear shifting right, and even the heavy steering as well. I mean, but back then, I don't think they had power steering, did they? I don't think they did. No, back then, they didn't really have power steering at its time. It was mainly for like modern cars when they had that kind of stuff, so. And even some with power steering back then in the 80s, 90s, it was a bit heavy, with the steering just keep turning and turning and turning, which is just a pain. Even turning circles back then for those big Italian 90s supercars were quite atrociously bad. And yeah, like literally just keep going wide and wide and wide until you eventually get and just use all of like the road or even the track. Yep. and you have to do like reversing, and it is just an absolute pain. So if you really want to experience that, my advice is use it either on a highway or if you want on a track, or best place on an abandoned open airfield. Because in towns and cities, you would have a tough time with a car, to be honest with you. So if you were to get a supercar or hypercar, my advice is get something modern with modern touches like modern interior, exterior, better electrics, power steering, and literally you would be totally fine with that. Your life will be a little bit better than those old school supercars, but still, they'll go for tons and tons of money in terms of value. And the minute you buy it, you will lose money, usually in depreciation over the next years. And yeah, you would lose a ton of money if you buy those hypercars, supercars. Literally, the minute you buy them within the next few years, you would legit lose a ton of money, which is actually true for big supercars like those. You lose money pretty damn fast. So just get something that's cheap but still is good to maintain. That's my total main advice. All right, and that's pretty much it for the Lambo. I kind of like this one over a Testarossa any day of the week. Anyways, so that's pretty much it for the Lambo. So if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, comment below what y'all think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you literally when we make brand new uploads. So that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon for the next video. Till then, stay safe, have a great evening, and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So yeah, take care folks, stay safe out there. I'll see you guys soon. Good night.